Ooh. Back in Manchester. So starting this ride a little bit differently from the rest of them, in the fact that I'm not going to work, I'm leaving work. Because I just got to work about 2 hours or so ago. The USA tour of Portland and Miami for the International Champions Cup with Man City. The women played brilliantly, trained hard, won 2, lost 1, but did themselves proud with a win on the final day after going 1-0 down to cap off what was a great tour. So here we are in sunny Manchester. We left Miami yesterday in the rain, stopped off at Chicago, got the connection flight into Manchester this morning, and now it is off home to see the dog. I'm looking forward to seeing the dog. I'm looking forward to seeing Serena, and I'm looking forward to enjoying the rest of the day off and having a bit of a break. Off we go. So to recap the trip, we left for the USA on the 21st of July, straight for Chicago, where we got a connecting flight that took us to Portland in Oregon. It was a long day, traveling 23 hours, but we got the team there in the early evening, just in time for a bite to eat, followed by the very next morning, a nice, slow, calm walk down by the riverside, where the team played some games, did some stretching exercises, and basically got to loosen up before their first real training session of the pre-season. We trained at Portland University's training complex. When I talk about university complexes in the States, I am talking state-of-the-art, high-end facilities. These are professional level facilities for college players. We're talking about grass that is as good as any of the top flight stadiums you've seen here in the Premier League. We're talking about basketball courts, volleyball courts, tennis courts, baseball fields, football pitches. We're talking about the lot, swimming pools. They have it all. It's so impressive to see. So one of the first things we did was we challenged the Portland Pilots University team to a head-to-head challenge with our women, and they faced off in a head-to-head challenge where they had to answer questions home or away to gain as many points as they can. They also had to do a skill. You might have seen it on Twitter. Claire Emsley, one of our attacking midfielders at City, pulled off one of the best basketball shots ever. Absolutely stole the show with the video. Have a look if you haven't seen that already. Played PSG in a warm-up game at the Portland University Stadium. City were the victors in that, winning 1-0. A goal by our very own Nadia Nadim, who actually studied at the University of Portland, so it was a homecoming game for her. She had a lot of fans in the stands, and they got to see her score a goal in City Blue, which was very good for the tour. We took some of the women to a local donut shop called Voodoo Donuts. Again, you can see Karen Bardsley, Jill Scott and Demi Stokes designing Voodoo Doll Donuts with the owners and creators of the Voodoo Donut brand. That was a fun video. They make great donuts. Trust me, if you haven't ever had them, when you're next in the States, look up their website. They've got locations all across the country. Go see them. We also visited the headquarters of Nike HQ in Portland, Oregon, where it all began. We took a tour of the facilities. We got introduced to the story and the history behind how Nike all started. I should say Nike. Got to see the first original contract, which was penned on a sheet of paper. We got told the story about how the title and the logo was designed. We got brought into the Jordan building. We saw a whole series of Nike Air Jordans, every one he's ever made with the company. We got told the story behind how Nike has built its brand. And we got told about the lifestyle that employees get to enjoy working for Nike. It's incredible. Tiger Woods building, Ronaldo statue. Yeah, just truly a great place to go to. And then we got to enjoy a bit of shopping in the Nike factory outlet, where employees can go and pick up all their Nike goodies. Miami was an absolute different beast of a place to go to. So we went from going all the way to the northwest tip of the States to basically one of the most southern eastern parts of it, in one go, having had training and the match and the appearances and the visits. And you might think, you know, fresh as a daisy, ready for the beginning of a new day to begin. But jet lag taken into consideration, I struggled for at least that first day and half of the next morning to get up to speed and be in the right physical shape to lug my cameras around, chasing the team to get the shots. But credit to the girls, they stick to their training regime religiously. Nothing phases them really. For them it's business as usual. Rest, eat, train, and make sure their body's in the best condition for when it comes time to step over the white line. The humidity though, the weather, the constant weather warnings, the rain. Honestly, like, I'm sitting here now in 24 degrees heat, but out in Miami, we're looking at temperatures over 30 degrees, plus the humidity. You really can't take 5 steps outside in the heat without getting sweaty. You get sirens that go off to let you know that there's a thunderstorm impending, and it means you have to clear the field because we're in such large open spaces at these university complexes. You have to clear the field because you're at danger of being amongst where lightning could potentially strike. We played Lyon in the Hard Rock Stadium, and unfortunately we didn't get off to a great start in that game. We lost 3-0. We went 3-0 down within the first 15 minutes, and I don't think the team really recovered after that. Although, having said that, the second half was a much better performance all round, and we actually were in the game for the whole of that second half. So the girls managed to turn it around, and I'll jump ahead to the next game against PSG again, but this time in the International Champions Cup at the Hard Rock Stadium. Whilst we didn't get off to a particularly good start again in that one, falling 1-0 down, we managed to get ourselves together, regroup, and Jill Scott and Mia Jans both scored from set pieces with their heads to make it 2-1 City. And we finished off the tournament with 2 wins and 1 loss, but our heads held high. We also got to go and watch the men's team play when they visited in Miami, coming from New York and Chicago on their pre-season tour. So the girls went and watched them from lovely seats high up in the stadium. We watched the men play Bayern. They also went down early against 2 quite clinical Bayern goals, but they managed to find resilience and get it back together to steal the win at the end of the day. So yeah, all good. 2 City wins in Miami. I actually feel like I've lost a little bit of rhythm recording this ride. I know it's a long one, but I am going over a lot of detail here of the last 10 days. But just speaking my thoughts out loud feels weird again. You know, losing the momentum of doing it almost every day, back to back. And then having not really produced any of my own content over the last couple of weeks. I feel stiff. I need to loosen up. I need to get producing more. Having no time to really point the camera at my own kind of thing to capture it amidst all of what we should be doing for the team. It's just quite hard. I found it tough. I thought it would be a great thing to be able to do, but I'm not out there working for myself. So yeah, found that quite difficult to be able to find time to squeeze some shots off for my own content, and that's something that I'm going to try and work on. I'm going to try and become better at that.
More of the songs you love.
Everything is wonderful.
I've got to say, just working with the women's team on this one has been an inspirational and uplifting experience. I've absolutely loved every minute of it. All of the coaching staff, all of the players, all of the additional staff that it takes to bring a team on tour have just made it so enjoyable to work on. So I do want to let them know that I'm thankful for them bringing me in the way they did. They made me feel at home. I hope I wasn't a nuisance putting my camera into places that it shouldn't have been. I just want them all to know that I've got their backs. I will only ever do what I can do for their benefit and to make them look as good as possible. I will never ever try and let them down. That doesn't even make sense. Basically, it was a pleasure, an absolute pleasure. It's special when you can consider colleagues at work to be more than colleagues. They can be your friends. So yeah, I loved it, every minute of it. So I'm sure I'll talk about it a little bit more in detail maybe during the week and next week. But that's been it for this ride episode. It's a ride home episode, a little bit different from the norm. Like I said, it was a big catch up, loads of information. Hope I told it well enough for you to enjoy and get a clear picture of what I've been up to. But yeah, that's it for today. And I am home. Right, so that's it for the end of this ride. I'll be catching up with you soon, and I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, click like if you liked it, subscribe or share, and I'll see you soon. Right, peace.